Is it morally permissible to make investments and grow them using compound interest? Welcome to Patriarchy.com, where we help you become a more virtuous leader for your family. I'm Will Knowland, and on this channel, Daily Patriarchy, I answer all your questions in the comments every day in video form. If you're looking for rapid growth in virtue as a leader for your family, then you might like to check out our coaching community, Marriage Mastery. This is for guys who want a proven system to resolve problems with intimacy and respect in their marriages. And we currently have 101 members at $297 a month. So it's great value. Check that out if you're interested. On to today's questions. So Max asks, I want to become a homesteader with my girlfriend, and going into the Air Force as an air traffic controller would give us great benefits to do that. While being reserves might help us a bit, being AD would be the best, even though there is a chance I can get deployed as an air traffic controller. I feel like I don't want that, but I want a good future more, and if it is God's will, I will accept it. Do you think the hesitancy could be effeminacy, as I don't want to get deployed if I don't have to? Well, for this specific situation, first, let's make sure that you're using the word effeminacy in the right way. This is when you are deterred from doing what you know is the right thing by the fear of pain or getting sidetracked by pleasure. Now, sounds like you think that this is the right move for you, given what your goals are in terms of building the future for you and your girlfriend. But you're worried because there's this fear of what could be in the future. So perhaps fear of difficulty is deterring you from going ahead with this path, in which case that is effeminacy. You might drill down into the roots of what you're really anxious about. What are your fears? But you do say that if it is God's will, you will accept it. So that's the thing to really focus on. Also, at this point, when you're talking about having a girlfriend and making these sorts of plans for the future, you're thinking quite far ahead. If you guys aren't actually engaged yet, then obviously to get serious about a life together, we want to get engaged, get married, etc. So this sounds like you might be too many steps ahead of yourself. Take one step at a time. Why haven't you proposed? Focus on that. Next question. Brendan asks, Hi Will, what are your preferred methods of investing, saving, particularly for retirement? For example, there is a lot of disagreement within the online Catholic sphere regarding the morality of investing in the stock market, 401ks, etc. What is your opinion on this matter? And if against these methods of investing, what alternatives would you suggest? So this is interesting. I'm not sure whereabouts you found disagreement within the online Catholic sphere. Personally, I don't pay much attention to the online Catholic sphere. I'm just here to help people out, not here to get into debates like that, which in my view are rather pointless because the church permits you to invest in the stock market, 401ks, etc. So if anyone's having this debate, it's not actually going to be over what the church teaches. It's just going to be their own personal opinion. So you ask for my opinion. In my opinion, you should just follow what the church actually teaches, which is that interest is morally permissible. Now, that might be the thing that you think is controversial in some of these online Catholic spheres. I would guess so. Let's have a look at this extract from a moral theology manual just to clear things up. In recent years, a new concept of usury in the wide sense has emerged. It is based upon the fact that in modern times, the function of money has changed. In ancient times, it was solely a medium or measure of exchange that could not be turned easily into capital. With the emergence of the capitalistic system, opportunities for investment increased and money assumed the role of a factor of production. Money assumed a new value and function. It became virtually productive, and so today money does fructify. To place money then at the disposal of another to be employed in profitable ventures constitutes an economic service and as such is worth its price as any other service. The price of money constitutes modern interest, which seems to differ radically from the old contract of interest and to be more one of hire or lease. So viewed, interest, or the price of money, is determined in the same way as the price of any other service. The unjust price, or usury, is an excessive price. This is the modern concept of usury. So, not all interest is usury, and you are perfectly permitted to invest in 401k, in the stock market, and other such things. And it is smart as the provider for your family and also thinking about how it might increase in size in the future and also being a provider for your children's children and trying to create generational wealth, because part of being a patriarch is about amassing resources. It is smart when you think about all that to use compound interest to your advantage. You want to put your money to work for your family while you sleep. This is actually one of the best ways to have more time to spend with your family so you're not constantly trading time for money. Put your money to work for you as a tool, right? If you are missing out on that, you are missing out on one of the most powerful wealth builders for your family. Hope that clears things up for you. If you have any questions building on that, drop them into the comments. But just thinking about what you were asking there, if I'm against the stock market and 401ks, what alternatives would I suggest? I'm not against the stock market. I'm not against 401ks. So I think you should just use them or whatever other vehicles, tax wrappers that you personally think are best. Faithful451 commenting on the video about whether college is a worthwhile investment for girls especially writes, my thoughts exactly on the value of tertiary education for girls, Will. I think there are also aspects to it you didn't mention. Of course, it's a broad topic and short video. One of the most important, I believe, is how it makes women more worldly. They experience a lot and get a lot of attention, and this makes it harder for them to look up to and respect their husband, both while they're courting and also in the early marriage. Because they've already experienced the kind of things he'd normally introduce them to, they lose that opportunity to experience things together with him, to see him as a source of knowledge. It's a tough one because of how fallen our society is currently. Some people argue that going out and seeing the world and all the types of bad behavior makes them less likely to get taken advantage of in marriage by a bad husband. And if the parents aren't able to advise their daughter properly, being very virtuous themselves, this can be a factor. But I believe a properly God-oriented and virtuous upbringing, combined with proper humility and regard for one's parents' advice regarding prospective partners, will protect against this sufficiently. Yeah, some useful thoughts there. I can see how girls going to college might become very influenced by a careerist mindset and begin to tie their sense of self-worth and self-esteem to achievements outside the family. That's obviously a danger. But on the other hand, what you're saying here about how parents are the primary educators is obviously what the Catholic teaching is. So morally, in matters of faith too, the parents are the primary educators, the biggest influence on their children. So I agree with you. I think that if a girl has been raised well, then she should be able to resist that environment. Again, obviously, the Catholic Church permits girls to go to college, and parents have to decide for themselves on a case-by-case basis whether it is worth it and in what sense. The point I was making in that video is that for a girl who wants to become a stay-at-home wife and mother by around age 27 or so, it is highly unlikely that college is going to be worth it financially. Now, some people say that they met their husband while in college and got married in college. Great, that's fine. That can happen. And I'm sure it is worth it in that sense for them. But the framing of the original question was really about whether it's a worthwhile financial investment. And I think for any woman who's looking to become stay-at-home wife and mother relatively early on, the answers are no. Okay, we had a good range of questions today. Keep them coming. If you've got any thoughts about what we've covered today, put your question into the comments. I'll get to it tomorrow. And thanks to your support, new channel is coming along nicely. We're at 617 subscribers, 22 videos in. Make sure you are subscribed, hit the notification bell, and share the content with anybody you think might benefit from it. And that basically means anyone who is looking to improve as a husband, as a father, for their marriage and family. Wives also looking to understand from a man's perspective what leadership is really all about. And also people who aren't yet married but are planning to be. So I'm sure you all know someone who can benefit from the discussions that we're having on this channel. This is very much a conversation and community channel. All the content is based on what you want to know about. So let me know and we can talk about all this stuff together. I think it's really important that we have a place like this to discuss these concerns because it's vital that we have strong families for strong societies. Now, you can also check out my main channel here, Will Knowland at Be Her Leader, currently 18.1k subs. This is where you can get more long-form content to help you out with various topics to improve your marriage too. Make sure you head over there, see what you think. And on patriarchy.com/start, you can find our community where there are lots of like-minded men all growing in virtue, helping each other out. So this is a great place to get courses on money management, fitness, muscle building, setting boundaries, handling arguments, resolving conflicts, lots of practical advice for all the day-to-day challenges you might face in your marriage and family. So head over there. The churn in this group is super low. It's like 1%. So 99 out of 100 guys who try it love it. And I'm sure you will too. Hope to see you in there. Drop your question in the comments and I'll get to it in tomorrow's video. Thanks for watching. Take care.